Hello and welcome back to Electrifying Vids. So, I have a Cumber power supply here, 30 volts, 10 amps, and well, what I'm trying to do here today is try to troubleshoot it. So, the moment I plug it in and I'm powered on, nothing happens whatsoever. Wait, that's probably the fuse. I probably forgot to put a fuse in there, hold on. And I found our problem. A blown fuse. Anyways, that goes into trash. Now, let me check something with my multimeter real quick. And let me check the input, if it's shorted or not. And it appears not. I don't know how that fuse got blown, but let me try getting another one from here. Okay, got a new fuse. I'm not sure if it's good or not. Let me check. Okay, the fuse is good. I'll just put this in here and hope that it doesn't blow. Anyways. Hey, there, it's on. There isn't any voltage output. Let me check it with my multimeter. Put it in volts. Oh, let me put this out a little bit here. Yeah, there. Now you can see. Sticking the probes in there, there is no voltage. So, let's start probing around. Now, I took the fan out because I needed it for something else, and well, yeah. So let me get you a better view here now. Oops. So we have the power supply in. It is on. Let me check the mains voltage. This is DC. Yeah, we have 164.7 volts on here. So we have our rectified unregulated input voltage. That's a plus. So I do believe this power supply runs on 12 volts for the controlling parts. And I do know from experience that I should be getting, well, let me unplug this. I should be getting a positive rail and a negative rail on these. So let me just put the meter here, just like so. These pins here, pin 2 here on the clip to the LCD screen. Pin 2 is common. Pin 1 I think is, yeah, positive 13 volts. Pin 3 is negative rail, negative 13 volts. And oops, yeah, that is powering our front screen. So this means that we do have power in here. It's just not outputting the well, regular power. So let me get my scope on and check if the power supply is actually working or not for the that chip. Hold on, oops, and get our focus. this chip right here. So this oscilloscope is coupled to ground. Well, it is grounded, so I can't put the ground probe anywhere, so I'll just use a coil to test this transformer and see if it's outputting any magnetic fields. Let me just put this down all the way to 50 millivolts. Yeah, you can see our power supply waveform putting our coil on that transformer, and look, as I take it away, it's gone. Closer, it's there, out, gone. So yeah, I do believe we have our power supply voltage, but it means that this doesn't mean that we have our power supply voltage. It means that we have an oscillation in the transformer. So let me zoom this out and put a multimeter here, and that's sliding away. Okay, there. Now I'm gonna probe across some capacitors and see if we have 12 volts. Okay, we have 12 volts. And hold on, let me do a funny thing here. Let me give you a little showdown here under the bottom. Come on. Under here, let me turn this light on. This middle plug is the oscilloscope plug. If I unplug it, yeah, so we have our live wire here, and now if I turn this upside down, the live will go to the live, but look at that. There's no ground, which means I can now probe wherever on the power supply without shorting it to earth mains. And look, the scope works perfectly fine. There's a bunch of noise. Now look when I touch the ground probe. Wait. Yeah, see? There's 60 Hz AC. Now, which means that if I put this on here, there isn't gonna be a DC voltage. That's because it isn't earthed. Yay. Well, now I can now probe. So on the, this is the MOSFET drive transformer right here. I do know this is because under the power supply there are traces from this transformer leading to the gates of those MOSFETs right there, and the diode was a temperature sense diode. So I'm gonna check if there's any signal going into that transformer. If there isn't, that probably means that this chip right here is either shorted or dead. So let me do another funny thing here. I have a screwdriver. I hook it up to the ground. Now I can use the screwdriver as a second probe. It's gonna probably add more noise, but it doesn't matter. Probing that, and let me zoom out. I'm getting something. I don't know. That's just 60 Hz AC. Oh, let me display intensity. Let me make that. Oops, wrong one. Brightness. So it's easier for you guys to see. So that is saying 60 Hz, so that is not our signal. Yeah, there's no other high frequency signal here. Yeah, there's nothing else. Which means that there's nothing driving that transformer. Which means that that chip is probably dead, but let's first check the power supply to those pins. So according to the data sheet, I think this pin is ground and wrong pin again. Yeah, that's our power supply pins. And let me get there. Let me get my probes on there again. We have 12 volts, so there's 12 volts going into there, which means our chip is probably dead or shorted. Now I'm gonna do a soldering process on here and remove that chip and replace it with a new one. This is a TL494 from, I don't know what brand that is. I'll turn off this light. Oops. Oh. Now before doing any soldering on here, because the soldering iron tip is grounded, I'll have to turn this off. Oh, unplug it from mains. Turn off my power supply because turn off my oscilloscope because it's making noise. Find the fuse, put it back into my soldering station. Plug it in again and turn it on and wait for it to heat up. In the meanwhile, I'm going to remove some plugs that are in the way because I might burn them and melt them with my soldering iron. Where's the screwdriver? There it is. Let it out. Now this should be fairly easy. I'm probably gonna have a lot of comments saying that. Well, not a lot, my channel's not that big. But I expect there's gonna be a comment saying that, oh no, you're not supposed to use that kind of flux. Which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the wrong kind of flux because they don't have the correct flux. Now I'm just gonna apply some flux using a cotton swab because that's easier to do than using a toothpick. Let me get some flux on here. And just smother it in flux. You can never have too much flux. And don't worry, I'll clean this later. Now I'm gonna start the desoldering process. Where are my pliers? There they are. I'm not gonna be gentle with this one because I don't have to. Okay. Oh, that's hot. Got the chip out. It's not pretty, but I got the chip out. Now I just need to find my solder work, and I can't do that because I can't find it. Scoop up another glob, wipe it away, and then make all the traces nice, or the pads, and also fix the capacitor. Good enough. This one as well. That one's on the same PCB trace anyway, so it's okay if that one bridges. See it, that one bridging? That one right there. That's okay if that bridges, because it's on the same trace. Now, I'm gonna clean it up with some alcohol. A lot of flux there. See how that's not brown anymore? This is brown. Now I'm gonna get the new chip out. I'm gonna ground myself. I'll touch the ground. No static anymore. And now I got the chip. Let me find the correct orientation and place it right on. Just wait. Just like that. Yeah. Now I just gotta solder it in. I can't do it with the camera, so see ya. Okay, I got the new chip soldered in, I think. I'm gonna give it a little bit of clean now. Plug in the display. Plug in the potentiometers, control knobs. Plug it in. Power on, moment of truth. It doesn't work. Wow. Which probably means that something else is wrong. Let me see if everything is connected right, and is indeed. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. And there. Got it working again. Look at that. That diode, temperature sensing diode, was shorted, so I cut it. And now the thing works. Look at it. I'm gonna. Goes all the way. Oh wait, 26 volts. 28 volts only. Hold on, let me check what's my multimeter. Maybe the panel just needs calibration. But hey, it works. I think. Let me just. And there goes my probes. The bench is a mess. So it says that there's 28 volts. Let me check that. And indeed there is 28 volts. So I think this display is accurate enough for my liking. And I'm gonna get my tuner here and try to find and attempt to adjust the voltage around to 30 volts. There. Now I have 30 volts at the output, 31 volts actually. And now I'm going to use my oscilloscope to calibrate it, because my oscilloscope is more accurate than my multimeter. And you guys can probably guess why. Anyways, I'm done with this video. Goodbye. I just realized something. I was trying to calibrate the current, and well, let's look at this power supply. This power supply I fixed off camera, and let's see. It is current limiting. Let's see this one though. Let's see if this one has current limiting. I'm gonna put it all the way down, just maybe a little bit higher. I'm gonna connect this. That's 17 amps. Let's put it all the way up. 17 amps. This is a 10 amp power supply. That's almost 30 amps this thing's putting out. And this wire is already hot. So, yeah. This is maybe a current regulated power supply. My normal power supply. This is gonna be my high current power supply, I guess. I don't know. I don't think putting them in series would be a good idea though. This one's a little bit dimmer than this one, but eh. Let me turn this one off. And there we go. My two power supplies. Yay. Goodbye.